Hi, my loves. Dream Let It Go from around the way, where we have culture, conversation, and community. And in today's video, I'm coming to you all with a auntie podcast review. I don't know the number of this episode. It's the Big Frida episode, y'all. Before I hop into my commentary, make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel if you're into these type of videos and these type of conversations, because that's what we do over here. Okay. All right. So listen, y'all, I'm going to be quite honest with you. This episode really got on my nerves bad. And if you're over here, you true here, then you know that I really enjoy the Aunties podcast. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I'll be gassing it up a little bit, but that's because I really kind of like this. This was so annoying. I'm gonna get into it so we can outline all of the reasons why I was annoyed with the whole 50-minute episode. So the episode kicks off with KARLISSA whispering and talking to Tia about Tokyo Toni. And she like, I'm not finna be no more broke bees. And Tia so lost. She like, huh? Huh? What you say? Huh? She's so fucking country. Huh? Who you talking about? Girl, keep up. That's who I'm talking about. Okay. And so when all of this is taking place, Tokyo Toni comes up, big butt Tokyo Toni, and she says to KARLISSA, um, don't make me reach on this other side of the table like she her damn mom or something. So Tokyo Toni starts to get up and walk into her. So KARLISSA like, come on, let's just do this now. Let's just do this right now. So security, he breaks it up or whatever. Like, girl, not the security guy having to break it up, whatever his name is. I forgot his name. He trying to go face to face. Tia, you can see Tia in the back. She looking all just disheveled, confused. Huh? She don't even know what's going on, girl. And not KARLISSA taking off those shoes like how Patricia was in that Young and Reckless episode, girl. Look at Tokyo Toni little she got her little orthos back in the backpack. And so they kind of sit down or whatever, like, come on, y'all, let's just reset. Let's just, reset or whatever. So they're trying to switch gears. And they're like, just keep it light, just keep it cute like how y'all normally do. So Tokyo, she switches, she's like, you look beautiful, you look nice. What's that hair? Do premium Primor or something like that? She's like, what you talking about? She's like, oh, that's my daughter hair company, girl. I didn't seen Tokyo's wig matted up a little bit. Listen, so she like, oh, you look beautiful. You look really nice, KARLISSA, whatever the case. And so Tokyo was like, no, KARLISSA was like, I don't adjust that easily or whatever. So Tokyo gets pissed off again. See, and y'all had me out here trying to be nice to this girl, this, that, and third, blah, blah, blah. So they just move right past it. And I feel like Tokyo can do that on again, off again thing because she bipolar for real. Something's going chemically wrong with this lady. And so Tia finally introduces Big Frida. This is the first time we seen Tia actually introduce Big Frida and or a guest in general. And she comes out, she's still looking halfway dazed that they was about to go at it. Like, Tia, girl, wake up. Ain't you supposed to be, out here with the steppers and shit, girl. You don't know when it's getting hot. Anyway, girl, Big Frida comes out and Tokyo Toni is still looking like crooked about the face. She making faces, KARLISSA's making faces or whatever the case, and the energy is just off. So what you call him pops off with, how should I address you? And you're like he, she, or whatever. And I feel like that was respectful. That was about the only thing that was respectful about this whole conversation. And so they said, well, how did you get your start? And it was like, well, you mean the music? Well, I got my start in my music, and, I started doing gospel. And then, what was another trans girl, or not another, but it was a trans girl who came out, and I kind of followed suit or something like this. And I've just been hustling and grinding. She has 25 years in a game of being a musician, in a creative space. I mean, that is to be applauded. That is to be respected on her own fucking skin and grit. I'm not trying to say anything about Tokyo, KARLISSA, or Tia. However, she is a real talent. However way you want to look at it, she did that shit and made a lane for her own self. Like, sure, KARLISSA paved the way for Blueface. Tia lucked up and fuck with Raw. She had a good picker, and Tokyo Toni, she paved the way for Black China to be who she is. But there is a difference when you are in a creative space, or you amass business success or whatever, and you do it by yourself. That's a different level of respect, minimally, that she should have gotten. But anyway, I feel like I'm snapping already. So let me turn it down a little bit. Let me turn it down. Okay. Cause I don't know. I just feel like I did not like the handling of this interview. It could have went so many different ways, but let's just get into it. Hey, how y'all doing? I'm just popping in to make sure you liking this video, girl. It is so like me to have a side conversation within a conversation, is it not? Anyway, y'all, make sure you all are subscribing to the channel because you're already here. That lets me know that you are my type of person. That lets me know that we go together right now. Basically, I mean, does it not mean that? Anyway, y'all, I hope that you are enjoying the video. Let's hop back into it. Bye. So they start talking about, where her inspiration comes from. She's like, well, the city inspired me, being outside with the girls, beatboxing on the transformer. I got the gin in my body, and we doing what we doing. Like, and I like that, he gave a little bit of flowers to the girls, like, real girls should do. I feel like there is just this unspoken beef, between people who are non-binary and cisgendered or homosexual. Like, it's just too much. So I like that, yeah, giving it up to my girls real quick, like, because honestly, before we even had the language, before we even, um, you know, understood things from the lens that we do now and the perspective that we do now, it was always the girlfriends who would be like, no, well, don't fuck with him. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we would be the ones to be like, okay, well, this is my friend. Like, you know what I'm saying? And there is a real genuine relationship. It's not like, oh, well, you're just using me as your gay pocketbook, or I'm just using you to be, get some new lingo. Like, at the root of it all, there is a genuine kinship and kindred spirit that happens there. Y'all don't need to argue me down about this. Like, can we get back to that? You know what I'm saying? So, anyway, Big Freedia is 45, never dated a woman. I'm talking gold star. So they talk about Beyonce, and the way that we fucking grazed over Beyonce portion of this is criminal. Okay, this is a criminal act. All right. Big Frida says that, Beyonce had hit him up, and, he went to, they went to a club performance. I'm sorry, no, Beyonce and Kelly went to a club performance to watch Big Frida. Okay. And then Beyonce invited him to an event. And then, months later, he was, contacted to be featured on Formation and then later on Renaissance. Like, wow. You know, wow. Wow. That's incredible. You know what I'm saying? And the fact that we got 2 seconds on that, and then we started talking about their relationship, and I'm not saying like I don't care about Big Frida's relationship, but truly we could have spent some more time about that. Maybe they knew not to ask no questions about Beyonce because, girl, who nobody's going to speak ill of the queen or give too much, but talk about the night. What did you wear? What did you do after the fact? What did she say about the performance? Do you remember the song that you performed? Like, shit, something like that. That as an interviewer, we're gonna unpack this a little bit. You're not just about to name drop Beyonce and Kelly. Beyonce? Beyonce? Bitch, you look like Luther Vandross, okay? Or whatever New York said. Like, come on. Anyway, they talk about the relationship. Like, I know you've been with your man for over 10 years. Like, no, we've been together for over 10 years. And, I come from a situation where my mom and my stepdad, and, my parents, they've been together forever. You stick with the people that you love. I like that. I appreciate that, that perspective, as long as it's healthy, girl. Anyway, so, Tia is asking questions, or KARLISSA, I don't know who, was so many dumb questions. Like, do people receive you well? Bitch, is Big Frida. What are we talking about? It's Big Frida. Okay? I got hot sauce. I want hot sauce and stuff. Oh, my bitch. Like, it's Big Frida. Of course they do. Anyway, so they start talking about the whole LGBTQ thing, and, are you verse? Are you trade? And, and it's just like, I mean, I'm exhausted. And I'm not saying it in the sense of like, okay, so sure, Big Frida is well, one, he said that he doesn't even identify as a part of like the LGBTQ. He's an old school queen. And most people don't, that are old school. 45, 46, like, girl, you know, veteran gay, like, they don't really care about that. But for the simple fact that he does represent a community, I'm sure that, it would be a sin to not discuss it, right? That's like me coming onto a platform or something. Like, I'm going to mention being a Black woman. You feel what I'm saying? Because that is who I am. However, to ask Big Frida, like, well, break down the LGBT, break down each letter. Like, girl, you break down the fucking, like, Google it. You know what I'm saying? I know it's a few of us here, sister. If I'm tapping you, if you in the last pew in the back to the right with the red hat on, you sister. I just feel like when you are constantly asked questions about like LGBTQ, so what does it mean? And it's like, I'm not the spokesperson. Do your own fucking research. You get tired of it. It's like, especially like in white spaces, or like, it's not my job to teach people, or it's not my job to teach white people about race all the time. It's exhausting sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't want to. I don't feel like it. I don't have the capacity. And it felt like Big Freedia was just not in that space. Like, girl, we're talking about Beyonce. Beyonce, and you're talking about LGBTQ. And I'm not even saying it like, I hope you understand what I'm saying. Like, not one has more precedence over the other. It's just like, girl, we can go so many other places here. Like, this is a basic question that you ask. Like, you could have asked Charles and none of that. No shade. Ask them that shit. You know what I'm saying? But this is Big Freedia. Anyway, girl. And so she's like, well, are you Verse? Are you Trey? Big Frieda's like, I am who I am. Like, they've been in a relationship for over 20 years or 10 years. Of course, they done fooled around and played around. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, he probably got top dog, he bottom, like, whatever. Who even cares about that? Just, I don't know. So Tia starts talking like, oh, when they started talking about the LGBTQ thing, Big Freedia kind of like peeps the energy. So Tia's like, well, we had a little bit of an issue earlier. So Tokyo starts snapping. You don't think he don't know that? You don't think? And so Big Freedia's like, well, we need to reschedule. We can reschedule because the energy is off. You know what I'm saying? We can reschedule. So and Tony starts snapping. Well, the only reason why the energy is off is because I'm usually the only one asking questions because I'm all in your face. And which, I mean, to a degree, she's right. Tony comes with that energy. And as far as I'm concerned, Tia only interjects and comes into something when she's either one, being judgmental, or two, being a little ignorant. KARLISSA, she's like, I don't say like she's clueless, but like in this airy way. And Tokyo is more direct, but they're just all terrible. So, Big Frieda's just looking at them like, listen, I didn't come here for this. And Tony's like, me either. Just nasty. And so Carlissa's like, we need to replace her. And she like, yeah, I think we do, or whatever. So Big Freedia, like, gets up and walks off. Walks out. As she should have. But you're not about to play in my face. And I won 3 Grammys. Grammy award-winning musician, hometown hero, the first of many. Yeah. And I'm not even going to talk about the whole, sexuality or anything. I'm talking about just the accolades alone. Bitch. You're not about to play in my face at all. Respect me, respect my time. So Tony and KARLISSA head backstage to successfully put their differences aside. They then head outside to reassure Big Freedia because, yeah, y'all fucking up the money. Give me my money. Y'all fucking up the money. All right. And y'all bickering back and forth and beefing over nothing because you bipolar and you ain't on the correct meds. And you can't even handle yourself at the job. And I'm not even trying to say it like, oh, you got to be a certain way at work. Like, at the end of the day, there's a certain level of professionalism that anybody needs to have in a corporate setting, in a creative setting. You got to be respectful of people, their time, their energy, especially people who are empathic. I can walk into a room and feel like, oof, it's too much. I can't take on too much. You know what I'm saying? And you interviewing people about sensitive things with nasty energy, be so for real, you know? And so they go outside. Tony steps into high gear with her charm. She turns into, stripper Tokyo, the charming stripper who can, get somebody to do what she wants to do. KARLISSA's still throwing jabs. Yeah, I'm sorry. We just needed a cigarette. She needed a blunt. She just mad at me because I'm real cute. And so then, Tokyo had mentioned like, yeah, because I wasn't, or Big Freedia had mentioned, yeah, because I wasn't, expecting to have that energy from you talking about Tokyo. So here go KARLISSA. Yeah, I'm glad she know who it was coming from, girl. It was coming from you too. You start like, it was just so, it just showed the immaturity, the lack of emotional intelligence. What I can say is Tia kept that shit cute. Tia kept that shit all the way P. You hear what I'm saying? She there for her check. She ain't let none of that shit get in the way of nothing. You feel what I'm saying? She remained calm. She tried to step up to the plate. Listen, we're gonna pull it together the way we need to. KARLISSA and Tokyo really should be ashamed. So now Tokyo and Tony's like, come on, give me something to twerk to. Give me now they want to twerk, now they want to play. And to be quite honest with you, I feel like Freedia was still paying them dust. Like, yeah, all right, yeah, I got a lighter right here, boo. They sat outside for 20 minutes while she looked for a lighter. Like, all right, come on, make sure you come back in. You know, all right. He was like, I got you, I got you. I feel like it turned into like, yeah, sister, because we can't have you leaving this damn interview because it's gonna get bad. We already done been here for hours. Everybody's on dime. They're gonna get paid. We don't damn have this episode. It's gonna look real bad. And I think that Big Freedia was as a team player because I feel like she knew that shit too. Like, wait, what? Yeah. And I just feel like, girl, whatever. So, you know, Tia comes out too, and Tia's, says like, come on, girls, let's get it together. They're playing or whatever. And, they come back and they are on a better time. Okay. They're on a good one. They're on a good foot. Get up on your good foot. Oof. Hey, mom. Okay. And she looks better, she looks better. The energy was still stiff, but better. So Tokyo naturally goes to, what was the biggest peen you ever had? Like, girl, we so sick of it. Big Freedia says 13 inches in both holes, girl. I really could just I just feel like Big Freedia is a little bit elevated at this point. And like, this is no shade, but like there are other women who are out there who, their sex work and their vulgarness is out for display because that's the world that they come from. You get what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I just feel like Big Freedia is a little bit more elevated now to me. You know what I'm saying? Like the management piece is kind of like, and it's not like she would be hurting for the money, although we do know that Zeus gives a hefty check, right? But come on now. Big Freedia been all over Bravo, WeTV, and Married to Bands, all these different places. Like, and you over here on the Zeus network cutting up with Tokyo Toni, who can't even handle herself. You know what I'm saying? Look how they was all hugging on her. Look at the body language. Tokyo like, yeah, you gonna make sure. You know what I'm saying? Come on. They had to really convince. Look at the attitudes change now. They all perked up. They don't want to lose that what they got. They do not want to lose that messing around because they beefing back and forth about the money. Imagine that's like going to work, beefing with the girl at the job. Now you lose your job. That's stupid. Anyway, so they come back and they're talking or whatever. So now like, oh, we want to hear you sing. We want to hear you do it. We want to hear you twerk it. We want to hear you. So now they want to get up and twerk. Like, now you got to throw it in a circle. They're like, how y'all dance so well in New Orleans? So, Tia starts saying something like, so, you being a trans, and Frida's like, I'm not trans. I'm not. Like, y'all don't know that. Even like the people who are coming up with the questions, like y'all didn't know that, Tia. You didn't know that, Big Freedia wasn't trans. She's like, I'm just non-binary. They're like, well, what does that mean? You don't know which that means. Again, I'm not even non-binary. I'm not, and I'm tired of explaining it. Like it's very simple, and I get it, like even Big Freedia was having a hard time kind of explain a few things too, because it's you don't really know until I guess. But he also just said multiple times, like, I come from a different generation. Like, I don't subscribe to that, but this is what it is. Like, you know what I mean? And I don't expect Big Freedia to have all of the answers about, the LGBTQ community, LGBTQ plus IA, plus all of these different things, non-gender, non-binary. Like, most people don't know that if they don't identify with it. You know what I'm saying? Or know somebody in close proximity to them. So we can't be like, oh, Big Freedia, you being a gay man, I'm sure you know everything about trans women. Like, that's not how it works. It's like me being a black woman and like, you know, being a widow or something. Like, yes, I'm a black woman, but like, I don't know what it's like to be a widow. You know what I mean? Like, I don't fucking know. I don't know. So it's like they were just asking her like all of these questions that were like not even related to her at all. And it was just like just lazy, like ill prepared. So they started talking about like, have you ever threesomes, foursomes, fivesomes, sixsomes? And I just feel like I don't want to drag it and be like, oh, they're just asking that because he's he's a gay man, or not gay, non-binary, whatever. But whatever. He was just like, yeah, I don't want to say sixsomes, but I had a threesome. So here go Tia with women. Like, no, he already said he's never been with a woman before. So why would you say that? So literally, why would you say that? Annoying. Annoying. They asked him if he tucks. Like, uh, hello? Are you okay? Like, what would be the reason? What was the reason? All right. This episode, I'm a little, like, not even a little, I'm very disappointed. And, we're going to expect a certain level of ignorance that happens between these three. However, like, explain the LGBTQ letterings and what they mean, like, for real. It's like, do you not work and live in the world? I'm sure it's somebody on your staff, somebody doing your makeup, somebody doing your hair that you could have asked that to. Why are you having Big Freedia answer it? I want to know about the first song that hit, the first song that went viral. You said you lived in a shotgun house. What did you do when you got that big check? You know, what you do in your community? Where do people see you at? How are you still performing? What's it been like since Beyonce? What are your shows like now? You feel what I'm saying? Like, what kind of legacy and impact do you want to leave on the world? You feel me? They did have a little moment when, he talked about his mom and everything, but he got a little emotional. But even then, it just seemed so cringe. And I feel like a person who, one, even if you're not a fan, you can still respect the artistry. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, even if you're not a fan and you don't really know the shows and the music, you can still respect the artistry. This man has been in the industry for 25 years or something like that. Niggas don't even have a job for more than 4 years, 2 years. You hear what I'm saying? And you're pursuing your own passion and pursuits and have been recognized by Beyonce, which, let's just say this is a very, very, very high standard. And you talking about some do you tuck? That's the fuck it. I'm out of here. I want to know what y'all think. Obviously, I'm pissed off. I want to know what y'all think. Am I reading too much into it? What were y'all thoughts? Not enjoyable. Tokyo's a mess. Um, just them beefing. You fucked up an interview with an icon, and I'm pissed off. Let me know what you think. Drop down in the comments. As always, I'm sending you much love and much light, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.